It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Good evening, sports fans. This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith. We'll watch the visiting squad as they go up against the Celtics. Well, for Boston, they must be satisfied with the way things have gone for them over the first few months. They've played with confidence and composure.
Everyone in their seats here in Boston to watch the Celtics. Thank you. And the Celtics, David, never one to rest on their laurels. Thanks for the report. And Kevin, to see you come in straight out of high school into the NBA, you forget that it was so historic because we had not seen a high school player in such a long time.
Right. Yeah, at that time, you know, it was 20 years before anybody had ever thought of the idea. I figured that I had the work ethic and the passion and the appetite for it. And I never looked back. I never second-guessed my decision. And when I did second-guess myself, I got in the gym and changed it.
Greatest picks in the history of the draft. All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. They've got Carter. Rajon Rondo is out there with Brewer. Then it's Zach Randolph. And it's Booker in at the 4 slot.
I love Hayward's activity and anticipation. And then the precision pass.
Passes it to Randolph. And stolen by Horford. Rondo against Lowry. Off target from three-point range. And just about a minute into the first quarter. And Doc Rivers, your coach with the Celtics, such a great leader, brought your team together. Talk about that.
You know, he brought us the belief in NBAB2 and bringing all of us together and that you give yourself for the greater of the group. And everybody bought into that. And when you hear about when Miami won, Pat Riley had all those guys give something to the pot and giving yourself to something. And when you think about what team is, all these great coaches, these great minds, these great philosophers, it all surrounds that whole little philosophy right there of giving yourself to be able to get something and gain something.
Very interesting.
Very, very interesting. But a true philosophy in winning.
Brewer dishes to Rondo. Outside Randolph. Just 5 on the clock. A baseline J, and he hits the jump shot. Kev, talk about the characteristics needed to be a winner in this league.
Appetite. How much do you want this? Can you push through that pain right there? Or are you going to dive on the floor? Are you going to do the small things? You know, are you going to double down? Are you going to be in the spot where you're supposed to when you're supposed to be there? You know my bads. You know, all this goes into winning. And then you need a little luck. You do. And you need an appetite. You need 15 guys that's willing to push through anything at any moment. That's the difficult part of winning.
On the same page.
On the same page, all 15 thinking the same thing.
That sounds daunting.
Listen, people think that, oh, man, why can't you have 15? Because it's 15 guys thinking 15 totally different things. And that's the difficult part of being a coach. That's what I'm saying. Being a coach is one of the hardest things to be because you got to take 15 perspectives and get them all in one and then go forward with the same velocity like you wanted to. It's frustrating.
Rondo passes to Randall. And it's out of bounds. The Celtics will take it the other way. Already it's February. Let's see how the East is matching up. You look at Boston, earning the first place position with a terrific record. And we've seen them perform splendidly pretty much all season long so far, and they're definitely the team to beat. And, of course, the Cavaliers, a game behind.
And, you know, for Boston, as talented a team as they are, has performed at a very high level this season. Everything's gone according to plan up to this point.
Yeah, Greg, already the focus has started to turn to the postseason and what they need to do to make a run at the championship. Not quite airtight defense right there, but his release was a little bit off on the jump.
And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That's his first foul. .111 left in the first quarter. Carter kicks to Brewer. Rondo passes to Randall. Now Rondo, while recovering, 5 to shoot. Goes up on the wing.
Well, it's not just on the offensive end that Hayward contributes. A solid defender as well.
That's tipped. The Celtics working the ball around now. Prince dishes to Millsap. Back to Prince. Over Randolph. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
Not easy to miss a clean look inside like that, but he manages to do it.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And there's Booker on the assist by Rondo. Booker's got 5 points so far.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Well, that opening right there, that's just because the defense failed to rotate.
Now here is Lowry. No points in the game yet for him. Kicks to Hayward. There's the three.
And even though he's not the quickest or most explosive.
So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. The away team up by 2. Stay with us as we get
what put me over the
playing for a historic franchise like the Boston Celtics. Greg, they've got, of course, the great fan support, great history. Something Horford relishes.
A great choice. A team with depth and youth. They have a chance to be good for a long time.
And it's been a pretty even game here after 1 quarter of play. And looking at what we've seen so far, guys, from the visiting team, what do you think?
Just playing suffocating defense. That's been the difference here for them.
And really, for the whole first quarter, they've maintained their intensity. Let's see how long they can sustain it.
Booker out there with Zach Randolph. That's Rajon Rondo. Then there's Carter. And it's Brewer in at the shooting guard position. And Kevin, you were drafted back in 1995, straight out of high school. You ever wonder how your career might have been different had you played some college basketball?
When I look at college, those are people that are going to, if not preparing themselves for something else. I was doing the same thing at a rapid rate, doing it through college.
Very accelerated rate.
Very accelerated rate. Where people was getting in 4 years, I was probably getting in 6 months, if not 3 months, and had to understand and articulate it. Then I got to block out. I got to understand what all that is and how finance and economics work and how it affects me. And now I got to strategize from when I'm going to do certain business moves throughout this whole season and be able to talk to an owner and talk and negotiate and go back and forth within a certain timeline. This is all stuff that you don't get in a book. This is all on the ground. You got to learn it, and you got to have a passion for it. You can't sit back and let somebody do your job for you. You got to know what it is. To be able to teach someone something is elite to me. So,
and it was a process, and you enjoyed the process, though, right? Because you were a sponge. You absorbed so much as from a person watching you go through all this.
If I'm a student.
Yeah.
And you know me. You've been knowing me since I was a kid. You saw my growth. You saw when I struggled. One thing about struggle, you always have a chance to do something about that. I like to think that in life you have a choice. It's what you do and how you do it. And I've always wanted to be a person of quality. Always wanted to be a person of class. You know that. And I'm a professional, and I was taught that you don't get to pick and choose when you're a professional. And I like to think that I've learned through my mistakes and I've applied the stuff that I've learned through my mistakes. Some of the things I'm teaching these young guys, some of the things I'm talking to these young guys about is just simple experiences and how I messed up. And if I could do it over, I would do it like this. And if I could talk to, my parents, and I have parents like your parents, I would sit down and I would say this. Relating to these young guys, understanding these young guys, understanding, period, says a lot for everything, bro. That's what I've learned through all of this.
Unbelievable. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, last season started with that horrific injury to Gordon Hayward's leg. Now, it's been a long road back for him, but he took heart in the encouragement he received, not just from his family, but from so many well-wishers. He said, "You realize how lucky you are to have people from all over supporting you." Guys?
David, I think everyone is rooting for his complete recovery. Thanks for that report. And we want to thank Kevin Garnett for joining us, giving us some perspective. KG, is always great, and thank you. You've given us a lot to think about with your comments tonight. Thanks for coming by.
Okay, man, I hope I was able to help, man. Thank you for letting me be part of it.
You took over the broadcast.
Not even, man. I'm learning.
You took over the broadcast.
I'm learning from the best, K. Keep doing it, man.
Love you, buddy.
My dude.
Hey, Chris, is interesting. Kevin Garnett was so impactful on the court as a player. Is it possible that he could have a similar level of impact in a broadcast setting?
Well, Kevin is my boy, so I believe definitely he can do whatever he puts his mind to. Kevin is a hard worker, and he knows anything in life. When you have to be a rookie, work hard, learn the game, and then do your thing. I'm sure he'll be all right.
Rondo kicks to Brewer. Booker looking around. Back to Brewer. A 15-footer. That misses off the backboard.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
And they take the lead. And it's 6 points for Horford.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
And here's Rondo. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. He kicks it to Randolph.
You love the versatility of Horford as a defender.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
We welcome you. Boston found themselves in a close game in the first. Some good moments from both teams, but as the first period wrapped up, they trailed by 2. They had a slight edge on the scoreboard in the second quarter, but only by the slimmest of margins. Kenny, what's your take on... And that's going to...
Welcome back to Boston, the buildings of the financial district visible in all their glory. Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game that's been so far. And so Lowry will bring it up for the Boston Celtics. It's a 1-point game.
Zach Randolph, a paragon of consistency over his career. In his prime, a nightly 20 and 10 guy, and still producing.
Trent's out there with Paul Millsap. And it's Hayward. Then there's Lowry. And it's Horford in at the 5 spot. That's the Boston 5. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. Rondo against Lowry. Pass to Carter. Here is Brewer. Randolph inside. Defended by Hayward. The shot's good from Randolph. And the Memphis Grizzlies retiring Randolph's number 50 going into last season.
And helped forge an identity for that team and really made them relevant. I mean, he's played on a handful of teams, but I think Memphis was that match made in heaven.
He must have a real good feel for the fadeaway. I mean, he uses it even when no one's on him.
Outside Rondo. The dish to Randolph. And it's sent back by Horford.
Oh, the way Horford positions himself as the shot goes up. I mean, his defensive instincts are just absolutely fantastic.
And Gordon Hayward is a player who's always found a way to add something to his game. Now he feels comfortable going at a defense either inside or out. Great strength when attacking the rim and can shrug off those defenders.
And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
Oh, wow. And Brewer just has such a steady hand. Even when he gets hit, he nails the shot easily.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Not the best statistic for him in terms of his performance at the line. Very low numbers.
And Greg, you mentioned Hayward's strength. That and his ball fakes seem to be not as recognized as they should be.
Yeah, I think Hayward has one of the better pump fakes in our league. Great deception with inside-out dribbles to create space. And the things he does well aren't immediately apparent, but Hayward's terrific fundamentals are what make him a great scorer.
And seeing Gordon Hayward out there, you have to be glad that he was able to recover the way he has from that devastating injury on opening night last season.
And I remember your call of the moment, Kevin. The whole NBA world just was shocked on that opening night. As bad as it looked, it seemed to be clean enough to where Hayward won't have any lasting issues with it. The rehab obviously wasn't easy, and I'm sure Hayward is just thankful that he's been able to come back completely from that injury.
And Lowry gets it to go. Lowry's got his first points in this one. Rondo against Lowry. Rondo finds Brewer. And the pass to Rondo. Just 5 on the clock. Booker. Misses off the right iron. Celtics leading by 3. And Lowry has it in the corner. And the 3 off target. Gone 2 of 6 from the field here in the third. Brewer the pass to Rondo. Booker outside. Over Millsap. Again, the miss by Booker. Boston's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Lowry deciding where to go with it here. Out left to the wing. Shoots from the baseline. Millsap misses.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Now, here's Brewer. He's guarded closely. Carter outside. Poked away. Millsap with the steal. In the corner, it's Hayward. That's in, coming off an assist from Lowry. And that's now 7 points for Gordon Hayward.
I like that Hayward knows exactly what to do with the ball. I mean, he gets in good position and lets it fly.
Trying to get something going, and the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And so it's Boston with a 6. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
And he's always been the favorite to bag this honor. These kind of feeds are his bread and butter.
Control the pace. Get it to the right guy at the right time. These requirements top the list if you're a good point guard.
And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. Rajon Rondo is out there with Corey Brewer. Then there's Carter. Then there's Trevor Booker. And it's Randolph in at the 5. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Right in his wheelhouse. Randolph putting in work in the paint.
Celtics leading by 4. Lowry kicks to Horford. Pass to Lowry. Jacks up a 3. Carter pulls it in.
It's been a rough game for him, but it won't sting too bad as long as they hang on to the lead.
Here's Rondo, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
And like the physicality he brings to the floor, outstanding at drawing fouls while shooting.
And so Rondo hits both free throws. And so it's Boston with it. Next up on the schedule, the Grizzlies. That'll be a home game. That'll be the last of 3 straight at home for the team. It's good. And the Celtics lead by 4.
And his touch inside more than makes up for Lowry's lack of size. He's a terrific finisher in the paint and doesn't miss many once he gets in tight.
Here's Booker. He's off on that one. And it's Boston the other way. A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played. And it's Kyle Lowry with the 3. Now it's a 7-point Celtic lead.
And that's Lowry's shot right there. Always looking to capitalize from that range.
Horford against Randolph. Over Horford. Nice shot by Randolph. Randolph's got 4 points this quarter.
And you're starting to see some tired legs on those defenders as we come down the stretch here.
Yeah, Greg, this ball game is too close to be taking plays off on D. I don't care how tired you are right now. You better suck it up.
And what a take from Lowry, using that quickness to just blaze to the rim.
Rondo finds Randolph. Rondo against Lowry. Back to Randolph. Fires from deep. Good. And it's Rondo who picks up the assist. Rondo's got 3 assists now in this one.
And those are the types of shots down the stretch that win you ball games.
Outside Millsap. Back to Lowry. 6 to shoot. Shoots it up. And it's Boston with another. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Rondo kicks to Randolph. Back to Rondo. Passes it to Brewer. And Randolph now top of the key. Just 4 to shoot. No good from Booker. Celtics leading by 6. Lowry passes to Horford. Nice work on the board. It's paying off with the basket.
Oh, you can't forget about Horford. I mean, carving out space inside for the putback.
Rondo kicks to Randall. There's a minute left in the fourth. Knocked away. Booker the pass to Carter. And a miss there on the triple. Guys, you've got to think a basket here would seal.
No question. That would be all she wrote.
There's a whistle. It's going to go on Corey Brewer. That'll be his second foul of the game. .40 seconds left in the game. Hayward on the wing, defended by Booker. 5 to shoot. Hayward against Booker. And Hayward gets it to go.
And that's a killer instinct on display as they try to put this one on ice.
Well, they've gotten serious, stringing together some game-winning buckets.
And a timeout called by Dave Yeager. And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Al Horford.
And he's just been crushing it from the field tonight, Kevin. Whether it's been on open looks or with the guy draped all over him, he just hadn't missed much. With his percentage in the sky-high range, they've had no choice but to make him their #1 option on every trip.
He sure has given this crowd a treat tonight. This kind of performance only cements his status as a fan favorite. Brown against Lowry. And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. Some good moments throughout this one, but all right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that about wraps it up. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony.